Warning, warning. Two idiots are reading the SCP files over the intercoms. Please cover your ears and await further instructions.
Hello, welcome back to Discovering SCP. We are back with a very special episode. Now, we like to have fun on this podcast. But you know what's not fun, even though people say? Drugs.
What? I think drugs. Well, it depends what kind of drugs.
Oh no! It's a PSA!
What?
You can't say that!
What PSA? You're right. You know what? Cut the footage and all this. Stitch it together.
Bring up case study number 1. This is Victor Blemsnem. And he took Victor Blemsnem. He's case study 1. He was an ordinary school kid. He loved to do studying and go on the internet. However, his evil friends convinced him, using peer pressure, to smoke a weed.
What happened?
He thinks he's a glass of orange juice now, forever.
I don't think so. Where's Victor right now?
He's in a mental asylum.
He's a danger to mankind.
He thinks he's a glass of orange juice.
Poor guy. Okay, what's case study number 2?
Case study number 2. This is Sandra.
Sandra.
Yeah. She was also an ordinary school kid, and she also loved to do studying and eat the internet.
Why are all these case studies children? What happened?
Because they're the innocent youths that get corrupted by the drug.
Aren't you the drug?
I'm not the drug, I'm the cure.
You're the drug dealer, right.
So, and she was walking home one day when she saw the drug dealer in an alleyway. And he said, and he sold her a drug against her will.
And what happened? Against her will?
Yeah, she sold it against her will.
If you wanted to get her the drug against her will, wouldn't he have just given it to her? Why did he bother to be like, no, you have to give me money? Oh.
It's a business.
Then why not just rob her then?
Because he's got standards.
Okay.
And she took the drug. Fair. It was ecstasy. And she became so happy that she died.
I judge you, but that is something that happens in Falling Down in the movie, where he yells at a dude because the soda's too expensive, but he's like, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm not a thief, and he smashes up the whole fucking shop. And you know what? You know what he was mad about?
What was he mad about?
In the 90s, because a cup of Coca-Cola was 85 cents instead of 50.
Ah.
And then I want you to go to your store now and tell me how much a can of Coke is.
You would have gone on a massacre.
That's what I'm saying. All right. So,
we're not here to talk about drugs anymore.
Okay. Interesting then. What is our theme for this week?
Well, the theme is we've been doing some of these anthology ones. It's still Halloween. I thought, why not check some more out? Keep going.
Fuck.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. I don't care.
This guy's yawning. He's bored.
Boring. Can't we do some articles?
Can't we do studying and go on the internet and maybe do a drug?
Yeah, I thought you were building up to something here. Something drug themed.
Hold on a second. Sprays white powder onto the counter. Sniffs. Super
That's how they put Coke down. They put it in a little spray bottle.
Yeah.
Gets the counters clean too when you're done.
Waiter, more cocaine, please.
Oh man, you would have loved the 80s.
I was born in the wrong generation.
All right,
my body produces cocaine naturally. I don't need external sources.
How many articles in the anthology are we doing?
Well, I've got 3 prepared. I doubt we'll get through all 3, but we've got materials. We've got things to live for. I want to live.
Give me the next one.
Take me out to sea with you.
One. I'll take you out to sea, sure. Only if you give me the next link.
SCP-7219. F is for Fallout by Dr. Balthazar.
That's not. I'm checking the author right now.
What the fuck? It is.
Author history. Let's see. All right, Dr. Balthazar. Sorry, that just sounded like a fake name that you made.
Sorry, Dr. Balthazar. Darnell doesn't believe you exist.
Balthazar.
Maybe Darnell's going to go into the mental asylum
In
next.
my defense, Dr. Balthazar, your name is a name that I would have made up if I had been asked to make up a name for an SCP author. If that means anything to you.
I'm sure it means the world to him, and not in a good way.
Art. I'm so sorry. Anyway, what's the name of this article?
This is F is for Fallout, just like my favourite Bethesda series. Do you have the Fallout Funko Pops? How many do you have?
I don't, but I know I love the song I've Got Heartache by the Numbers.
I got boots that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle.
It's I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Mr. House, kill this guy.
Yeah. No, House with the. You know the thing about Vegas is, I understand
the house always
conceptually that Fallout Vegas is a good game with a lot to do. I agree.
He's gonna lose us 50% of the fan base.
No. I agree it's a good game, but I'm just like so dumb that I've never found more than like the same 12 quests to do over and over.
I can see that.
And I also don't have the DLC, but like I'll like go around like, all right, I'm really gonna explore, and I go to all the places and I find like the same quest, and I'm like, well, fuck. And then I'm out of things to do. But I love that game so much. I haven't played the DLC though, so that might be part of it, and I bet people will tell me to mod it up too. What about you? What's your favorite like open world game like that?
I suppose I've never like been on a huge open world sort of gamer, you know.
Yeah, Elden Ring for me is probably my favorite.
Yeah, probably. I'd agree with you there.
Yeah, I need to play that again. It's been long enough now that I think all the spots are like out of my memory, so I can experience it fresh.
But it's with that stuff like I don't like especially like it for the open world. I like it for like the crafted content. Like I like the encounters and stuff.
Mm-hmm. There are very few worlds where like the open world really matters to me. I did like what's the one that's not Breath of the Wild, the new one, Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. Well, that's a pretty good one as well. Now that I think about it.
But that's also because like that game was specifically scientifically designed so everywhere you go there's something fucking awesome there. So that's different. Yeah. That's not like the most open worlds just feel kind of empty to me, which I don't think is a hot take. Especially like have you ever went around GTA 5?
This is a hot take. This is a hot take. I think for any open world to give an impression of like a large world, there has to be a tiny bit of blank space. There has to be a tiny bit of nothing in between the stuff.
Yeah. Which is fine. A tiny bit of nothing is good, but like if you ever run around GTA 5 and you're like, there's nothing to fucking
because otherwise you get the Ubisoft open world where there's some fucking boring, useless bullshit every 30 seconds where it's like, can you help me find a pigeon? Or here's a collectible nano token to find. If you get 100 of these, you can upgrade your weapons gilded slots.
They couldn't even afford to put whole tokens in the game. It had to be nano tokens.
It was like, oh, here's a graffiti wall, clean it.
Oh, I hate that shit. Especially when it's like, there's one or two things you're missing and you can't find them. You're like, I guess I'll look them up. And then it's like in the most obnoxious
place possible. I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and this is hell. This is like an ironic hell for me because I can't get anywhere. Because I see them on the map. I know it's not worth getting them. I know I'm not going to enjoy it, but I can't just leave the icons on the map. I have to go get them.
This is what's fucked up about Assassin's Creed is everyone's like, oh, I grew up. There's such amazing story games. It's like, oh, sweet, which one should I play? And they're like, don't actually play.
I would say play the Assassin's Creed True Trilogy. And that's
the original?
The 2 trilogy.
There's a second trilogy?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations. That's pretty good.
Okay, so I just got to find those games and play those.
Yeah, maybe Assassin's Creed 1, but I would not say it's vital.
Yeah, just for the lore. Because I know the lore is like they put him in a machine and he goes to the past. He's like, I'm grandpa now. And then
it
somehow
activates his genetic memory.
Yeah. He's like, I was in the... Oh, have you seen Captain Laserhawk yet?
I've not. What's that?
Okay, so it's a 6-episode show that's basically Ubisoft putting all their IPs in there.
Oh, right, yes, I've heard of this.
I'm sure you've seen, like, the Rayman online, like, eating the sushi off, like, the cow's back, yada, yada. But sleeper hit for me is one of the main characters is a frog who's, like, in the Assassin's Creed lineage. And he's so good. I love him. And Rayman's also great, of course. But it's like, I didn't realize at first because I'm not a big Ubisoft head, but they've got like Sam from Splinter Cell and shit. And they've got, I think the Niji 6 are the Rainbow Six Siege people. It's pretty fun. Anyway, we were going to read an article, right?
Yes. F for Fallout. F is Fallout. Yes.
F is for Fallout. We get distracted like champions here.
My Vault Boy Funko to read it with me.
we are like almost 10 minutes in before we've started the
10 minutes
actual
of
article.
content.
It's a record.
This is what they're here for.
It's true. Anyway, without further ado, SCP-7219.
Object Class Keta. Special Containment Procedures. All perimeter breaches are to be investigated immediately, not later. Perpetrators would be detained and interrogated.
Just like passive-aggressive boss about it.
Yeah. Well, just
that means right now.
He's kind of funny. He's like, don't we investigate the next day? We have to investigate it immediately.
Have you ever worked at like retail and there's nothing to do? And they're like, wow, actually we could be keeping busy still. We could be cleaning. And It's like, all right. Minecraft zombie noise.
One of the spiders as well. You looked at an Enderman.
I don't know how to do an Enderman.
I need to run away. Oh, here's a village. Thank goodness.
No, get out of there. I think we got a sentence in.
Minecraft audio. Sentence in to episode 4. Just so we somehow branched out to Minecraft audio API.
God, I hope M is for Minecraft in the anthology. We would kill. Oh my god.
Perpetrators will be detained and interrogated to determine whether they are affected by the SCP. Individuals under the anomaly's influence will be contained within the nearest Foundation facility and evaluated to determine their radiation exposure. Persons affected by less than 5,000 milligrams of radiation are to be released following amnestic treatment.
I'm so fucking, like, moronic that I was about to be like, oh, so it's a Fallout reference until I remembered Fallout is indeed the term for, like, nuclear fallout. Which is where the game title comes from in my head. Yeah, I know, right?
Shit.
I know, right? Thankfully, I realized it, but I shared it for comedic effect.
You should have done that. You should have done that. You exposed your IQ.
But I didn't. I was like, I remembered.
Well, my power is that I can divide any number that I know by 10. So I'm going to reduce.
I love that in media.
Hold on. JJK spoilers.
Oh, fuck. And I must beep that out. I love, though, in media, when it's like, there's all these complicated powers, and it's like, oh, the most powerful villain of all time, his ability is the simplest thing.
Yeah, he squashes you with
simplicity. That they literally do that in Record of Ragnarok. Like, Zeus is like the god of all gods, and you think he's gonna pull out some crazy magic or weapon. He's like, no, I just compress all my muscles together. Its simplicity makes it the strongest strike. And then he just starts beating the shit out of Adam. It's so good.
Fantastic. Primary containment of the SCP consists of a large nuclear containment building. So I think we've all accepted by this point. We're reading one article today.
Yeah, maybe. Oh well.
Consists of a large nuclear containment building constructed over the SCP's location. To access the building and containment site, Foundation personnel must pass through several decontamination chambers as per standard radiation safety protocols. Ground radar units have been installed within the containment building to constantly monitor the position and movement of the SCP, as well as monitor the structural integrity of the surrounding bedrock. Foundation personnel to monitor phone and electronic communications for signs that a person has become affected by the SCP. Should an affected individual be located, they are then to be subjected to the previous containment measures with the addition of required daily dream journaling. Investigation of contained persons is to be undertaken to ensure no further individuals have been affected by the SCP, with evidence of SCP activity discovered during the capture of affected persons confiscated for study. Due to the intense pressurization of supercritical liquid within the space housing the SCP, all civilian attempts at excavation will be stopped by any means necessary. Fucking kill them. Failure to maintain the chambers, it doesn't say that. Failure to maintain the chamber's structural integrity will result in a catastrophic steam explosion and nuclear contamination event projected to render a minimum of 150,000 kilometers squared uninhabitable as a result of widespread fallouts. Research into methods of safely extracting the SCP from this chamber is underway and is being carried out when viable. Is that a big place, Darnell? I know that. That's fucking huge.
Oh, 150,000 kilometers squared? You would know better than me. That's metric.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's pretty big. That's like my house, I think.
In my incredibly oversimplified mind, I just know mile is around 2 kilometers, so I just half that, and I'm like, that's a lot of miles.
That's a lot of miles. That's me.
Not an exact
that's me in the next Spider-Verse movie.
That's me in the corner, losing my religion.
That's me in the next Spider-Verse movie. That's a lot of miles.
I'm so excited for that. Then we have an image. Anomalous, put the SCP-7219 image onto the screen for me. It says, excavation site above 7219 prior to continue.
Me and my last 10 seconds taking over Darnell's body, and it's Miles jumping.
So I'm guessing it's the SCP's like, I'm the most radioactive guy, and they have to put me so deep under the earth.
Damn, his curse technique is radiation. That's rough.
Actually, that would be kind of hard as a curse technique. Not gonna lie. Like, how do you defeat that?
You Don't go over there.
What happens if you're trying to do reverse curse energy and your cells are all out of whack?
Sorry, but your cells are already out of whack, Mahito.
Mahito. Well, my logic is like with reverse curse energy, right?
It.
Because like cancer is just like your cells continuing to replicate and like not understanding they should stop. Would you just like make it worse if you use reverse curse energy?
I don't know.
I know. Questions we got to find out.
Post your opinion in the comments.
You ready to read the description?
Of course I am. Description. The SCP is a humanoid anomaly exhibiting a localized oniric, dream-affecting compulsion.
Oh, didn't we read something about Onair?
Yeah, it's like dream stuff.
Ah.
Located within a chamber of an abandoned subterranean global occult collision bunker, currently inaccessible from the surface. Thermal readings, ground radar scans, Geiger counter readings, and recovered dream journals of those affected by the SCP indicate that this space is both heavily irradiated and pressurized due to the presence of large quantities of superheated corium, which is a highly radioactive multi-material composed of nuclear fuel and reactor construction materials created during nuclear reactor meltdown events.
Me when I'm like browsing on my phone and the alarm goes off.
I broke down a little bit.
Yeah, you okay?
I got taken over by Tony.
I could hear the steam rising.
Who do you think you're ordering around, old hag?
He's been taken over!
I only copied the body's information!
Where were we? It is presumed?
Oh yeah, it's presumed that the corium has maintained its temperature over its history via anomalous means. Why does anomalous mean? Anomalous?
Yeah, anomalous. Define anomalous means on the screen.
Anomalous, don't be mean.
Thank you.
Despite residing within the space, the SCP has not appeared to be damaged by the chamber's heat, pressure, radioactivity, or lack of nutrients. Ground-penetrating radars confirm the SCP is mobile in the space, but is otherwise unable to provide measurements or an accurate physical description of the anomaly. I kind of like that, where it's like, there's something down there. We don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, presumably you get too close and like you fucking die from the radiation.
Yeah.
So
it's something. It's something. Yeah. The SCP's primary anomalous effect is an ability to contact and influence individuals with a minimum 70 kilometer radius via their dreams, with an as-of-yet unknown maximum radius of effects. Within a subject's dream, the SCP is capable of reshaping the dreamscape and narrative. Fucking, that's got a nice beat to it.
Every time he does that, I imagine the Five Nights at Freddy's music playing, like when you fuck up. They got him caught.
My animatronic has showed up.
Wait, can you do your animatronic scream again? I thought I was going to do the scream. Famous Tanhoney scream.
Can you not hear it?
No,
I've done it twice.
I think the mic's just not picking it up for me. I believe you're doing it, though. I love the way you did. It's like...
It's not picking up either.
Oh my god. What's happening right now? Discord can't read it. The dogs in the neighborhood are going crazy.
My cheap trick, I can only talk to animals. Rohan, read the Rohan, read the SCP, Kate. Within a subject's dream, the SCP is capable of reshaping the dreamscape and narrative, while also maintaining complete control of the dreamer's conscious state, able to prevent them from awakening or prematurely awakening subjects on its own accord. Baby, stand.
Baby, stand?
Any information given to a person targeted by the SCP will be considered factual by that individual upon awakening, and any instructions given will develop into obsessive compulsive behaviors.
If we ever got in a baby stand situation where we were hanging out and you had carved something like baby stand on your arm, even if I believed that whatever happened to you was real, I would pretend I didn't to piss you off.
I know you would.
I would be like, "You're crazy! It's just a baby. It's got like fucking fangs."
I'd be like reloading and like move.
It's actively summoning its ability. I'd be like, "Hey, dude, chill out."
I'm reloading a pistol. I'm like, move.
Jesus Christ. This guy's ready to shoot a baby just because it's a stand user. What if it's a good stand user? What if it's a benevolent baby?
Irrelevant. I don't need it.
God.
I don't need this in my life right now.
Well, there you have it, guys.
Can't risk it.
Risk what? Oh my god.
Affected individuals have reported that carrying out instructions given to them by the SCP is akin to a primal need, primarily motivated by fear and self-preservation. This effect can be reversed through the use of amnestics. Individuals that are in contact by the SCP display moderate levels of radiation. This guy's give me cancer through my dreams.
God, Jesus, that sucks.
This effect is cumulative. While not initially dangerous, persons contacted by the SCP 4 or more times will have been exposed to an average of 5 sieverts of radiation, becoming dangerously contaminated themselves.
Oh, I don't know how much a sievert is, but it sounds bad.
Yeah, I don't want any of those.
Not even one sievert?
No. Maybe for a treat.
Ow.
The SCP is aware of the experiences, memory... I'm like, my favourites.
What would you do for a Tanhoney snack? It's one sievert of radiation.
Like, I pumped him through all of sieverts. He won't be moving anymore. Time to get past him and kill the king. I'm like, this is a new pain I've not experienced before.
Start sucking in the air like fucking Kirby.
I'm like standing behind them, like the menacing eyes, like I've not experienced this pain before.
I've heard that nuclear energy is
a scrumptious gift.
Truly, nuclear energy is the cleanest. I can feel it in my veins.
It's clearing out my blood.
That'll fix the sinuses.
This is how I hold it. Somebody's like, what's that? My appendix. I channeled all the radiation into it. And now I return it to you when I throw it in.
99.99% of humans believe the appendix is useless. That's just because they've forgotten how to use it.
Did you know a human only uses 10% of their brain? In its simplicity for me to store the remaining radiation in the 90% that goes unused.
It's my favorite shitty myth. Oh my god, do you remember the movie?
That humans just, like, don't use anything.
It's like, yeah, you know that thing that uses all the calories and is, like, your biggest advantage? We don't need most of it. It's just there.
It's like, but I blew off your head. You blew off the 90% I wasn't using.
Did you ever watch the movie Limitless?
I know, but I think I know what happens in it.
I watched it as a kid. I don't remember the majority of the plot, but that was the whole conceit, was like, you only use 10% of your brain, but there's a pill.
You know when they start talking about the 10% of the brain, you know some dumb shit is going to happen.
They always have to have someone like Morgan Freeman explain it to you, so it sounds
that's exactly
smarter than it is.
In one movie. Is that Limitless where Morgan Freeman explains it?
It might be, I think. Yeah, you're like, this is the dumbest shit ever, but Morgan Freeman says it, and you're like, well, hold on.
And he's like, did you know?
Did you know that you only use 10% of your brain?
Because he's an authority figure.
You know what? I just realized what actor would play Ashtel Duran. He's like, this is not an Aether ability.
He's like, oh my god, it's not Aether ability?
Wow, so that does work, you know? It makes sense. It's like when you read Baki and they try to gaslight you into thinking that, like, all the shit is actually possible with the human physique. Like, no, you're crazy for thinking this is weird. If you just train hard enough.
And Yujo's like, you didn't think you could jump out of a plane without getting hurt? That was your weakness.
If you flex your muscles at the exact right time, they counter
I caught the bullets with my biceps, Baki.
Where were we again?
We're right here. The SCP is aware of the experiences, memories, and knowledge possessed by those it influences. It will often release individuals from its control if and when it comes to believe that the individual is unable to aid it in achieving its goals. Individuals that have been actively ordered by the SCP to enact a task frequently develop mental disorders, particularly anxiety and obsessive-compulsive disorders, as a consequence of its control. So he's the fucking one to blame.
That's the reason we're all fucked.
So you're the reason I'm worried.
Oh.
These disorders can be treated via conventional means. No, I don't want to. And are believed to be a psychological response to the SCP's effect on their psyche. Persons that have been contacted by the SCP describe it as a heavily burned, emaciated male human with luminescent yellow eyes displaying signs of acute radiation syndrome, with several accounts describing it as possessing areas of exposed bone and muscle mixed with embedded lengths of rusting metal. Cool. All accounts have described the SCP as being extremely tall, with molten material orbiting it in loose rings.
I'll be honest, I like better when they implied no one knows what it looked like. I don't care about... Now it's like lamer.
Hold on, it looks cool though. It's got rings.
He's got the fucking roguelite rings with that, like, you know, the moves that hit that orbit around you.
Yeah.
That's what that is. So like,
can you overcome my defense?
Ultimate defense, 3-ring orbit.
Oh my
and
god,
then,
Abel versus this guy, that was the best arc in the manga.
You know what? An SCP manga could potentially go hard if they did it right.
I think there's been some.
Hold on. Well, I know there's been like a manga that's like they do an SCP each thing, and then because I remember I think Bobble was one of them.
It was an SCP light novel. Did you know about
that? What?
I'll show you later.
Oh, can we read that for a podcast episode? Well, that would be probably in trouble for that.
What do you mean? It's Creative Commons. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Oh, we could, dude! Finally, something that's as anime as we are.
Maybe we'll check it out. Its face is barren of flesh, with visible musculature partially hidden beneath a mask of its own sloughed-off facial dermis, lashed to its head with cord or wire. That's metal.
Hey, Tan, let's see if you learned anything this week. What does dermis mean?
It's the skin.
That's what's up.
Sorry, dedicated to teeth. Numerous dream journals and notes.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck did he write this?
Numerous dream journals and notes have described the anomaly, pleading with them to aid it, and reporting feelings of empathy towards the entity.
Aww.
During attempted interviews conducted by Sleeping Foundation staff, the entity has proven largely incooperative, frequently coercing the dreamer into aiding its goals. The SCP consistently pleads with the subject, including affected Foundation personnel, to free it from its subterranean prison, providing them with detailed knowledge of the anomaly's location and hand excavation techniques. Just dig me out, bro.
Dude, just a shovel would do great right here. Just
please,
keep scooping.
I'm begging you, man. You gotta.
I like to imagine the entity starts digging, but the Foundation keeps pouring like a little more soil on top.
It's like, no, stop.
Dude, that's not what I asked.
Come on, man.
Come on. No, you got me. You got me.
That's not funny.
You'll be the first to die in my new world.
I'm not laughing, okay?
Guys, you're gonna want to see this. This is like worms.
No discernible patterns have been identified in the range of persons affected by the SCP, though it most commonly targets male individuals between the ages of 20 and 60, an average rate of 1 person per 3 months. To date, all affected individuals have continued excavation at the site despite the area's high radiation levels, causing them to develop acute radiation syndrome. These individuals will continuously excavate the area, stopping only if they need to rest or hydrate. This behavior continues unless they are forcibly removed or they expire due to the present radiation.
God damn. They don't even try to stop the people digging them up?
Why? Why ruin the show?
Well, because that guy's made of radiation.
So, isn't it amusing to watch them struggle at an impossible task?
That's fucked up. Keep reading, you fucked up bastard.
Sisyphus wasn't punishment, you understand. It was an entertainment for the gods.
That kind of goes hard as a line, I'm not going to lie. I would love that as a line.
When you see him... when you see an elephant at the circus, would you say it's being punished? Hey, Sisyphus, banana peel.
Just him saying that, he throws his hand out like Spider-Man, a banana peel emerges. Sisyphus goes, no, it's almost done.
He's like the meme when he's on the floor, like with all the food.
The boulder also goes flying and slips on the peel.
He's like,
goes eating up. No!
Boulder, don't dismiss your domain amplification.
It's funny every time I do it to him.
He never gets used to it.
What's he supposed to do? He can only push it up. Can't see the banana peel. It's such a big boulder.
And he's just like watching this point, like he still hasn't realised that a boulder can be pushed in any direction.
Clenching his fist, he's like, I can't believe my brother is so cruel.
He's like, you must figure it out. I can see that potential in you, Sisyphus.
Too bad. Addendum 1, I think?
Yeah. The SCP was discovered in October 2013 on my birthday! Following the detection of a radiation spike.
No, wait, hold on. Your birthday is October 12th, 2013.
Yeah.
Not October 2013.
Yeah, but this happened on the 12th.
No, it didn't.
What does it say it didn't?
It was discovered proof. In October 2013.
That's a devil's proof.
Okay. Sure.
You can't prove that it wasn't on the 12th.
When Tan only turned 4 years old.
It's like JJK, where it's like the Gojo Satoru was born. When the baby opens its eyes. It was
the SCP. Oh man, do you think Gojo would or could be contained as an SCP?
Probably not. He'd be like, and he'd like blow him up.
He'd probably be like Hollow Purple, and they'd be like, we have the anti-Hollow Purple reality.
And April would walk in like more like 3 versus 1.
Oh, man. How do you contain what is infinite? You can't. Anyway.
Due to long-standing suspicion, alongside a 73% increase in missing persons report in the following months, due to long-standing suspicions of a GOC facility in the area was rapidly investigated, and it was soon determined that a large subterranean bunker had suffered a catastrophic nuclear incident. While signs of anomalous activity in the presence of an organised evacuation were detected, no connections to any group of interest were made at the time due to the area being entirely abandoned. As a result, the bunker was considered low priority due to a lack of anomalous activities. In 2015, a standard review of the area discovered that excavation of the facility was being undertaken by civilians. The area is immediately cordoned from the public, and investigations into the excavation discovered lethal amounts of radiation damaging excavation equipment, and the corpses of 78 missing persons, all of which had expired from acute radiation syndrome. It's a lot of radiation. Investigations into deceased belongings led to discovery of documentation alluding to the SCP, with the following investigations discovering the anomaly proper. Addendum 2. Due to the radiation levels within the excavation over the SCP, the majority of individuals drawn to the area have been observed to suffer acute radiation syndrome. Initially, this was observed only in those who visited the excavation in person, but investigations of backgrounds in homes of afflicted persons had detected various amounts of gamma radiation in their beds and clothing. We get into the Hulk.
Nice.
No, not nice. He's always alone.
No, but he gets over that, remember? And he's like, I'm happy to be the Hulk, actually.
Well, that's only in the movies. In the comics, he's tormented. And he has to struggle with
tell me this.
Okay.
Sure, the Hulk is tormented, but are you and I not every day already tormented? So why not at least get the power to change this world? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm strong.
Like, just existing is tormented. Like, if I was the Hulk, I would change the shape of this world.
Well, I wouldn't be waiting for supervillains to... my pleasure and displeasure.
If I was a superhero, I wouldn't be upholding the status quo. I would be fucking... This is me virtue signaling. I would be flying to the White House like, listen here, Mr. Biden. We're going to make some changes
I would fly into space and carve my face into the earth with laser eyes.
That would be pretty awesome, actually.
Like, how many died just now? I can't see.
You're like checking out self-portrait, and it's just like the 3 lines of a smiley, but you like carved through the continents.
Exactly.
Big smile on South Pole. Oh man!
It's like,
if you could go to another planet, would you do so? Would you be like the first person to colonize Mars? I would be too scared, I think.
No, I would be like the 50th person to go there.
Because like I love the idea of it romantically, like, oh, finally a new Wild West frontier to go explore.
I would not be part of the first wave. I would not be part of the second wave. Maybe the third wave.
And then you'd go and you'd be like, all right, it's safe. And then they'd reveal, like, actually, Mars dust gives you cancer.
No,
like,
they would, that's why the third, though, because they would know it by then.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We still do stuff today that is bad for us that we don't know the full details.
Well, then I might as well go to Mars, then. We're doing it anyway.
I think I would be willing to go on the second wave, but also not the first one. It's just, like, too much, you know?
The first wave, you're going to get eaten by a Mars worm.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what happens in the first wave? That's when you crash. That's when something explodes, a gas pipe breaks. You know, it's just asking to die.
Exactly. But anyway, the discovery that dream-based exposure to the SCP is extremely hazardous necessitated Foundation acquisition of all affected areas, including 28 homes, 3 apartment complexes, 17 automotive vehicles, and 1 therapist suite. Individuals affected by ARS in this manner were initially treated within the sterile wing of the containment complex due to the destruction of their immune systems. The usage of experimental anomalous medical techniques to treat the infected was approved with the goal of developing effective treatments to be used across the Foundation. Despite extending the life expectancy of the victims to a maximum of 349 days and partially repairing genetic damage, they still underwent severe loss of skin, muscle and flesh, vomiting and diarrhea, leukopenia, seizures, hypertension, hemorrhaging, and shock leading to total organ failure and death. That's usually
so everyone this fucker touches in their dreams dies.
If he contacts them enough, it's because it like builds up.
Damn, that's fucked up.
As a result, the Ethics Committee suspended all treatment and testing on individuals affected by the SCP-related ARS in November 2018, and has approved the usage of euthanasia in afflicted persons.
God damn. That's like, I gotta say, that's probably the most Ethics Committee, like, appropriate line I've seen about the Ethics Committee. Usually it's like, should we press the big red button that kills everybody or not? But it's like, yeah, we can allow people who are suffering to die. That's like something an Ethics Committee would decide on.
What if you get down to it, all life is suffering?
I mean, damn, okay.
Let me give you your
Danony's in his Buddhist arc. We're dead in 3.
I will never leave the cycle of reincarnation. I love this shit.
Are you still good to read, or do you need a break?
I was going to say, can I give you the...
Yeah, tag in. Here, clap my hand.
Boogie woogie.
Boogie woogie. Yeah, we've swapped places. Alright, guys, that's enough. Let me show you how this reading thing's done. Big yawn. Okay. Addendum 3. The following is a brief catalog of relevant documentation discovered.
You said that so whimsically. The following.
In 7219's area of effect, presented in chronological order. A complete list of collected documents can be seen in document SCP-7219-RD19. Recovered documentation, 7219-DW-2. I had that dream again. Definitely going to have to tell Sam about it. It started out like that one with the girl I like working at the gas station, but then the whole place lit up with green fire. The walls all melted away, and it was like I was suddenly in, like, a cave, a mine or something. I could tell it was hot, and that the air was air and water at the same time somehow. I was moving through it, and then I saw this thing walk out of the dark. It was like a really tall guy, but he looked melted and skinny and stuff, with some bones showing. It was wearing rags and sacks-like robes, and there were these bits of metal stuck in its back and chest. It spoke to me, knew my name, told me to go out to a specific spot in the woods and dig it up, because it said it was in a lot of pain being stuck down there. I googled the spot after I woke up, and it looks the same as in my dream. Maybe I'll check it out with the gas station girl on Halloween. I really need to stop watching horror movies, though. Its face was all fucked up, like someone had cut it off and he tied it back on with shoelaces. I even asked about it in the dream, and the guy said it was the only way to get it to stay back on. Who dreams of this shit? Written by Tanhoney.
But that was
along with this. It's exactly what he sounds like. That was a perfect rendition.
I don't sound like that. Don't even fucking joke about that. I'm not fucking Southern.
What's the proper English accent I have to give you to be morally correct?
I'm Northern. I'm from the North.
It's the same.
It's not the same. No, I'm not. You can't say that. You would get killed for that.
Along with this entry in his dream journal, a rough drawing of a humanoid figure presumed to be 7219 was included. Is one like the rich and
exactly.
One like the not rich? Okay, so I'm calling you a rich boy.
You are.
Okay, I'm gonna keep calling you that then because it's funny. I'm gonna be like my favorite Southern English chap, Tanany.
Keep reading.
What's your best impression of a rich English person?
Well, they talk a bit more like this. No, you don't talk like that. I don't know what that was.
Would you like some tea?
Hello. Well, let's continue reading then.
That's just anime character.
I need to get something to the voting polls. I do love that old Rishi.
It's Richie.
He's the Prime Minister, and he's a spiffing good chap. I love all the war crimes he does.
Do any of them actually still use the word spiffing?
No.
Okay. I believed you for a second. That was so convincing. Recovered documentation. SCP-7219-DW-7. I've been digging every day.
It's the same guy, by the way.
But the dreams won't stop.
No, I mean, it's the same guy. It's the last one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I've been digging it. I wish I didn't give him this.
Maybe just tone it down a little bit.
I've been digging every day, but the dreams won't stop. I feel sick. The more I dig, the worse it gets, like a bad sunburn all over. I'm throwing up in my hair. I'm going to be honest on that.
This voice is fucking awful.
It's the best voice.
It's not. It's fucking awful. I can't take it seriously.
Is it?
Yeah. I have to be honest with you. I can't. It's ruining the SCP notes.
No! All right, then you read it with your British voice. No,
it doesn't have to be a British voice.
I'm throwing up in my hair and nails. It is pretty bad. God, why does it sound off? What am I doing wrong?
It's because you're ending every sentence like with a really high pitched bit. Like everything sounds like a question.
I'm throwing up and my hair and nails are falling out. Sam said I had a nosebleed last night, but I didn't have the guts to tell the truth and say it was from my eye. The guard knows about it too. How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that enough? Is that enough to heal your wounded soul? Your country's wounded pride?
It wasn't the country, it was just me as a human.
In my dream, he apologised and said that it would stop hurting soon, to push through it. Even said he'd try to help me. This time it appeared with me on a roller coaster, so that was neat, I guess. Still, I'm booked in to go to the doctor tomorrow. Am I coming up on mic, by the way? It seems real quiet in the recording.
You sound fine to me.
Perfect. Notes. The final entry recorded by...
Dick Westershire.
Dick Westershire. Wow, that fits perfectly. Whose remains were later found within the excavation site during Foundation
Final entry, thank
investigation.
God, he's dead.
Oh, so this is a new guy.
Yeah.
Recovered documentation, 7219-LCW-4.
He started doing it there. It's going to be a Southern accent.
All right, let me think of a different one.
No, I mean like Southern American. You go like...
I know, I'm going to do a different one now. I'm changing.
So that is what you're going to do?
I just have to think of an acceptable...
So that was what it was going to be, though.
Yeah, remember? That's why I first switched to. Of course it was. Now I have to think of a third accent I could do that won't be offensive. I can't do the Irish one. That one might cause a problem.
Yeah, that would definitely cause a
problem. Patient Ennis got contact. Given her state of mind and deteriorating physical condition in the previous weeks, I decided to go through my notes from our previous sessions, and I don't like what I see. It's clear that I did not entirely understand their concerns over the nightmares they were experiencing, and that I was incorrect in my assessment of them being a manifestation of survivor's guilt.
Damn quack doctors! They don't understand that it's a radioactive ghost.
These fucking idiots. What I took to be the obsessive-compulsive behavior is clearly a break from reality, and they've become fixated on... Sorry. And they've become fixated on taking their hole in the woods. Noting for the record that should Ed not answer their phone, I intend to talk them down from this course of action. Notes recovered from the offices of Dr. Lick Crack Westershire, a psychologist working in the area. Consistent with the date signed in her notes, Dr. Westershire left her practice to perform a wellness check on patient N. The bodies of both patient N and Dr. Westershire were discovered within the excavation site. All right, we have a script coming up, I think. Do you want to be the exposition? What'd you say?
Can I be the SCP?
Yeah, because that's the exposition-heavy one.
Okay.
I'll do the narration and Dr. Adelheimer. Recovery documentation, 7219-Dr. Adelheimer-1. Last night, I was contacted by 7219 in my sleep. While it was somewhat amenable, speaking with me and answering questions, it proved difficult to engage with, as it was extremely focused on its attempts to make me participate in its excavation. I was also taken by surprise by how hopeless it seemed. It was far more pleading in its nature than what was presented in the documentation we found, and I believe this will only increase with time. Below is an abridged interview I conducted with the entity. I have not included tangents or arguments here, as I was focused solely on obtaining information. Hello, my name's Dr. Leslie Adelheimer. Who are you?
I'm trapped, and you know that. Please, you need to get me out.
We can discuss that in a minute. First, I need to learn more about you. Do you have a name? How did you get where you are?
My name? No, I don't recall my name anymore. I was once like you, a man, but I was different. I could touch the dreams of others that did not go unnoticed. Shadowy men in black trucks found me, kidnapped me, and locked me up in their little underground hellhole. It's like the crestfallen warrior I realise I'm doing. It's all useless, don't you think?
I suppose this is just the way it was always supposed to
Us unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right.
I can't even play jump rope because all my friends are dead.
They cut off my legs and turned me into the Lord of Cinder.
Really?
No.
Congratulations on the promotion, bro.
No, you don't want to be the Lord of Cinder. You're burning forever.
Would you cut off your legs if they gave you $1 million for it?
No, $1 million, no.
Well, you can invest that money and never have to work again.
Yeah, but I have no legs.
Yeah, but whatever.
Give me like $1 billion, maybe.
$1 billion.
Because then I can get really good prosthetics.
People who need organs, you know the price.
What, you mean organs like my legs?
Yeah.
I know
People who need limbs, you know the price.
That's $1 billion per leg, by the way.
Per leg?
Yeah.
No, you said $1 billion for both.
I changed my mind.
So, what if they only want one and they offered you $500 million?
I said no.
Really? You wouldn't even put up with a peg leg?
No.
Or like a prosthetic?
No.
Wow. All right, continue.
What do you mean? They're not entitled to my leg.
No, that's fine. You're just a little selfish, I think. Greedy, maybe. But continue.
Well, you're the one.
I would give up a leg for even 5 million.
Well, it's you anyway. You're the one who has to read.
It's me?
Yeah.
No, it's the SCP still talking.
No, I hear the dream shifted.
They kidnapped me and locked me up in their little underground hellhole. You didn't read the little bullet.
That's you. That's you.
Oh. Here the dream shifted, and I found myself sitting at an office cubicle before being tackled and kidnapped by shadowy men. I was thrown into a van, beaten and dragged into a sterile room, collared and handcuffed. Do you know who did this?
No one that will be missed.
What does that mean? What happened in that bunker?
They were killed by the things they could not exterminate. Most people and monsters dragged down into the dark were gassed and disposed of, but those resistant to their weapons were locked up. Others like me were made to be useful to them. At first, they offered me a deal. I reach out, spy on the dreams of their enemies, coerce a few people here and there to be more agreeable to my captors, and they would make me normal in return. I would be allowed to live a normal life. But they lied, Leslie. They lied to me. They never meant to let me go. How could they, with what I knew, with what they made me do to people? So I rotted in that cage for years, resigned to my fate. When I peered into their dreams, I saw I was not the only one held down there. Another of their guests was less complacent than I, too strong for their methods of disposal, angry and bestial. It broke out, tearing through them like a hot knife through butter, and flung itself into the reactor powering this place. But do you know what happens when an indestructible being throws themselves into a thaumaturgic nuclear reactor?
What's the lizard's number again?
I was thinking the lizard, though. Yeah, I don't think it is the lizard, though.
What's the lizard's number?
682.
682. It's not 682?
I don't think so.
The dream changed again. I could see through different eyes as a flying monster rampaged through corridors, shrugging off gunfire and practically exploding through the shadowy men. It kept going until it found its way inside a huge industrial room, glowing blue, before flinging itself into an enormous turbine above some sort of nuclear reactor. No, but if we could get back on topic...
This is important. You need to listen now. What happens is that, from what I understood in the dreams of the physicist in charge, our indestructible friend is crushed within the molten corium, mingling their properties and melting down to the lower levels of the facility, causing explosions and collapse as it goes. All the way down is this nuclear oubliette I live in now, filling the air.
I know that word from Crusader Kings 2. I trained for this.
That's where I put my enemies.
I know, that's the fuck-up dungeon that you have in the ground. You throw them in the hole.
Yeah. Filling the air with their combined abilities, filling my lungs and pores and room itself with its power. Meaning that while this place will not be able to kill me, but will make my every moment agonizing. Do you see?
That butt should have been in it, I think.
You see, they used me, and because of their incompetence, I am no longer human. I feel like I'm always on fire, always burning. I cannot breathe, I can barely see, and I'm starving without even having a stomach to fill. Can you imagine how much pain I am in?
As you're reading this, you slowly turn around and see Rocky staring directly at you from the bed. It's like, do you understand now?
This oubliette I have crafted for you. I call it life.
Here the dream returned to the cavern, with the SCP looking at me. I believe so, but if your chamber is breached, the pressure would cause an unimaginable disaster. Nuclear contamination on a scale beyond anything we've ever seen.
Please, I know the resources you have, I know the risks. I have seen your dreams, but surely between us we could find a way, Copium. Like how I shielded and spoke people from the radiation from the excavation sites, make them survive longer, hold off the effects draw at the time. This could be applied further in your science as a way to mitigate the effects of radiation. Perhaps even a way to avert any contamination events at all if we work together. Surely we can find something.
The most fucked up thing this article could do is have them be like, don't worry, we'll help, and then they dump more dirt on top. They're like, fuck this thing. This thing's crazy.
It's scary.
I'll do my best. Look, I'll do my best to get our people on it, alright? I cannot promise anything as yet. I cannot promise anything yet or anything as of yet, I think. Second grammar mistake, gotta dock you a point for that.
Grenade blast.
But you need to tell me. All those people in the pit, you do know they died, yes? They suffered greatly and died in agony. How many lives were you prepared to burn through?
I know, and I'm so sorry. I tried to make it safe for them, reach out and heal them the best I can. I take the edge off and make them last a little longer, but they just won't stop.
After this point, I was awoken by my alarm. Looking into the information given, we may be able to locate those holding it before the bunker's destruction, and learn more about whose site we're guarding. I would also suggest investigating the potential to extricate 7219 from its location safely. The Foundation has achieved loftier goals than this, and would be better able to contain the anomaly than the situation currently allows. Notes. Following this communication, the Foundation began an investigation into GOI deaths within a 75-kilometer area and found double-digit members of the Global Occult Coalition had died within a 24-hour period of one another via unknown means. The Foundation has reached out to the GOC for questioning, but has not received any reply. Oh, look at this drawing! It's a sketch found, and it's like a little skeleton man. Where's his floating rings?
I don't know. I guess it's like around his torso, maybe.
All right, do you want to read this last one for me?
I had another dream about him, the man in the pit. We were in a hospital, walking down a corridor together. It was like I was a doctor, but he was the same as ever, the air crackling like a fire. As we were walking, he looked at me and said that I was doing a good job with the pit, and asked why I'd stopped coming. So I told him I had sick been getting, and asked if he means to let me get as sick as I do. Why doesn't he stop?
Third grammar mistake. Dr. Balthazar. I'm so sorry.
Maybe it's the person writing it. It's notes, after all.
But then shouldn't it say sick? Checkmate, atheist?
What? It does say sick.
Doesn't it? When there's like an intentional fuck up, don't they write sick? So it's like
says
this is how it was.
He says he's sick.
No, shut up.
He just shook his head at me and said, "But I do hurt you, and I'm sorry. You won't stop." It felt like an apology, and I was going to say something else, but then we were in an operating theatre at the bottom of the pit he lives in. That glowing nuclear stuff was all around him, swirling like a snake or something. And some skeletons dragged a gurney in, and Eliza was on it, strapped down. I tried to move. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said I needed to understand what he was going through every day. I knew what it felt like from the other dreams, but this time he said I needed to see. Eliza started crying, blood and thrashing about on the gurney. She was throwing up, wasting away, almost liquefying. It was awful. But then as suddenly as it started, I was standing in my room watching her sleep peacefully. I went to the bathroom to splash water on my face, but in the mirror he was my reflection. I got mad and punched the mirror, screaming at him for showing me that. He said that I needed to see it with my own eyes. Still, better for me to do it than for her. I made him promise that if I kept digging, then Eliza wouldn't need to. He said that she wouldn't have to if I got him out. Then I woke up in a ditch and saw I'd sleepwalked out to the pit. Might as well dig. He wouldn't have said that if I wasn't close to freeing him.
Oh, that's fucked up, because you were not close at all.
It's like the meme where he's like, about to dig through.
Almost reaching diamonds and turning around.
Most people affected by 721 quit right before freeing him.
Notes.
Yeah, and then as of the most recent iteration of this file, the document is believed to be written by the final individual affected by the SCP prior to the implementation of current containment procedures. And then we have the ending joke, edited 4.
Oh, fuck. I thought we were at the end. Oh, there's so much. All right.
Can I popcorn
Let me take
a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got you. Following Dr. Adelheimer's interview with 7219, Foundation investigation into the deaths of double-digit GOC members believed to be linked to the bunker began. Initially, the details of the deaths matched SCP-7219's account of events, but as investigation continued, discrepancies began to appear at an increasing rate. All locations where the deceased agents expired were found to possess extremely high levels of gamma radiation, with several having been destroyed in nuclear detonations. This investigation led to Elroy Blank, a patient in a chemotherapy ward. Mr. Blank had previously been married to Blank Blank. A known GOC operative observed to have died in the same 24-hour period as others linked to the facility. When questioned about the event, Mr. Blank became distressed and refused to cooperate with Foundation operatives, necessitating the use of a GOC liaison. After negotiations, it was agreed that the Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition would share information regarding 7219. Global Occult Coalition files on 7219 revealed that the entity was formerly an unnamed civilian, abducted for use in unspecified clandestine GOC operations. It was described as largely cooperative, but increasingly prone to mental instability, self-harm, and aggressive outbursts, and was being considered for termination prior to the destruction of the facility. It had been held for 5 years leading up to the loss of the Northwest GOC Oniric Research Facility and a reactor meltdown consistent with 7219's account. Primarily of interest to the Foundation was a file detailing the events of December 7th and 8th, 2013, where GOC operatives previously responsible for the management of the Northwest GOC Oniric Research Facility died of radiation exposure and spontaneous nuclear detonations in their sleep. Each individual had staffed the facility for at least 4 years, with many of them directly working with 7219. Following these events, the Global Occult Coalition orchestrated a decontamination and misinformation campaign to allay public concern regarding the detonations. These events were attributed to 7219, with the anomaly being labeled as extremely dangerous. Following the sharing of information regarding 7219, the Global Occult Coalition liaison provided the witness statement of Mr. Elroy Blank regarding the death of GOC agent blank blank. So basically, this guy, Dream Man, got fucked up in a nuclear explosion with a bunch of other monsters, and he, like, gained all their abilities and is, like, constantly suffering.
Yeah.
Oh. I see. Witness statement. KOD report. I'm not sure what that means. Kill on death? That doesn't make sense, though.
I don't know.
KOD report blank blank 71013. Witness Elroy Blank. Statement. We went to bed like always, but sometime in the night I got woke up by Blank screaming and hollering in her sleep. I tried to wake her, but she just started running around the room, screaming like a mad thing. She kept saying, I'm sorry, please don't, over and over again. I grabbed her, trying to shake her awake, but she just stayed under. I didn't know what to do, and then she started almost rotting. Her skin started melting away, her hair and nails were falling out, and she shoved me off her so hard. I was screaming her name, trying to wake her up, but nothing worked. She was crying blood, shriveling up, and screaming so much, just, I'm sorry, over and over. I went and shook her hand. I went and shook her hard as I could, trying to wake her up, and she felt so hot, felt like a sunburn just looking at her, let alone holding her. Then she threw me across the room out the window, and I heard her scream just before I blacked out. Her work tells me the explosion came from inside her. Now my darling's dead. Our house and memories are a crater, and her work insists on paying for my chemo, even though all I want is to go be with her. Now get the hell out of my room and let me die in peace. God damn, this guy's cranky.
I wonder why.
The Foundation was informed. I mean, fair. The Foundation was informed that the statement was consistent with those given by witnesses to other detonations, and that those who did not detonate were believed to have succumbed to rapid onset acute radiation syndrome. Given the consistency of statements given, it is believed that 7219 is capable of inducing nuclear fission of cells within living persons under its effect. As such, all activities related to the extraction of 7219 were suspended, and methods of negating its anomalous effects are under investigation, with the possibility of termination under consideration. On 7/10/2022, all on-site personnel experienced a dream where the SCP addressed them personally. Upon investigation, it was determined that each affected person experienced a broadly similar dream, one of which had been transcribed by researcher Van Dorn. Alright, would you like to take on this last addendum?
I've got a deal for you. I'll do the dialogue if you do the narration.
Alright, I'll deal. We'll split it.
Chainsaw Man contracts.
The dream
Show
began
me
inside
your dream, Darnell.
I will! Opens up my chest cavity. The dream began... That's where dreams take place.
I know.
The dream began inside this hot, dark cave.
I discovered many of them.
I was standing knee-deep in glowing blue water, but the air was full of steam as well. There were ruins hanging from the cave roof and jutting out from the water, and I could see bones and ruined machinery throughout the area. The air was full of a droning, crackling sound that seemed to come from the water. The air hurt to breathe and felt awful on my eyes, but they wouldn't close. One end of the chamber was lit by an intense glow that only increased in intensity as its source approached. 7219 came from that direction. The entity was extremely tall, above 2 meters easily. There was this lava floating in the air around it, almost like a planet's rings, and was the source of the light. It burned so badly, and it filled the air with this horrible buzzing sound the closer it got. It looked like its skin had essentially liquefied, causing it to stagger and shamble closer to me. It was knocking debris over as it approached, clearing a path for itself. I could hear its ragged breath from a ways off, and it was a rough, wet sound, like sandpaper scraping raw flesh. When I came closer, I could see that it was staring at me. It looked furious, and its eyes glowed yellow and secreted vapor. I wanted to look away, but my eyes wouldn't move from it. Upon reaching me, it was clearly in an aggravated state and addressed me directly. Throughout the dream, I found myself unable to speak or move in any way.
Why do you leave me down here? Do you not understand what this feels like? Have I not shown you enough? You cannot care so much about those pathetic worms that you are simply going to leave me? Each day feels like eons. Time and time again I tried to die, but I am a ceaseless wheel. I am beyond death, and I refuse to remain here any longer. I need to get out. I will get out. And if I need to burn through each and every one of you to do so, I shall.
Wait till he finds out that people can avoid having dreams by smoking indica before bed. And then it's over for him. At this point in the dream, the setting began to change frequently. I could still hear SCP-7219, but I found myself standing outside the containment site, watching as it exploded into a mushroom cloud. The heat and dust melted my flesh and stripped me, but I couldn't wake up. People ran from the ruins on fire. They didn't make it far.
I am not meant to be here, and they were meant to make me human, but they lied. It's time for me to begin anew, on the surface.
The scene changed to a fireball rolling out ahead of the mushroom cloud. This time in St. Louis. No! Wait! Hold on! That's where I am!
You're going to smoke?
No!
Then let's watch you smoke!
No! The people and animals were... What animal? I guess dogs and shit. The people and animals... Because, like, we have cows and animals, but not in the city of St. Louis. They're, like, a ways away. The people and animals were writhing on the ground as they burst into flame and were blown apart like cigarette ash. I could see 7219
silhouetted. You're so right, Darnell. They're not dreaming anymore.
Silhouetted against the detonation, shaking like it was laughing.
That's the thing with you little people. You manipulate the world around you, deceive those around you to keep your secrets, keep your ducks in a row. You promised me a life, but all I received was pain. I take steps to change that, and you do all in your power to stop me, all to preserve your little veil. You are just the same as them, and you will suffer just as they did. Revenge failed to get me any closer to getting out.
Why the fuck did they pick St. Louis specifically?
Because it deserved it.
The gateway to the west will be shattered open!
Well, I guess it's
It
nearby.
changed again. This time to being on some kind of space station. Enormous detonations appeared in the dozens, spreading across the hemisphere and kicking up vast amounts of ash and dust. The only thing I could hear was 7219 laughing.
But it did feel good. You have chosen to imprison me. You're entombing me in the worst place imaginable. You have chosen to torture me. Draw out the suffering. Enough.
The scene changed again, this time to Site 19. 7219 was forcing the floating corium into SCP Redacted, which appeared to make them follow it, their eyes taking on the same glow as its own eyes. The entire surrounding area was a blasted wasteland, raining acid that scorched all the remaining greenery.
You are going to let me out.
Now I could see an icy, bleak landscape. It appeared to be a sort of farm with ragged people attempting to till the earth. They were starving, covered in blistered and burned skin and blinded. Corpses littered the ground, ash rained from the sky, and the people communicated in only grunts and gestures. I saw one man collapse with all his fellows ignoring him, save for a child who seemed unable to comprehend why he would not rise. A pair of yellow mushroom clouds formed on the horizon behind the people. They didn't even bother turning their heads.
I am not going to stop. I will send every man, woman, and child in the country to dig me out. I will break your mind, and you will dig me out with your nails. I will burn the world as I have burned, and you will watch as their skin melts and their eyes bleed. Mountains of corpses burning beneath an ashen sky. I will become death, destroyer of worlds, and it will be your fault.
You can't take that line seriously. You stole it from Oppenheimer.
Yeah, because
I can't believe this. Even when Oppenheimer said that line, it was cringe. Because, like, Oppenheimer's whole thing, which the movie has made, so, like, everyone knows this now, is, like, he was, like, constantly waffling about it and, like, actively contributing, knowing what he was doing. And then the bombs dropped and he was like, oh, humanity, we are monsters. What have I done? It's like, bro, you built the fucking bomb. Shaking my head. The vision faded back into the cavern, the mushroom clouds becoming the eyes of the entity. I had fallen backward into the water, simply staring up at it. It approached me and crouched over me, staring me in the eyes.
I am going to get out, Tom, and there is nothing you can do that will stop me.
Following this shared dream, the majority of on-site personnel reported signs of radiation sickness, with several having received lethal amounts of radiation overnight or being the epicenter of nuclear blasts. This necessitated an evacuation of the containment site and the decision to automate all functions of 7219's containment. All affected individuals were observed to remain under the control of 7219, regardless of their condition, and were subjected to larger amounts of radiation, leading to the permanent evacuation of all persons within a 100-kilometer radius of the site. In the following week, 7219 was observed to affect individuals located significantly further than before, and at a drastically higher rate. As of the last update to this file, 7219 has consistently contacted an average of 4 persons each night, at a maximum distance of blank kilometers from its present location. Alright, we fucking got through that. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. The final monologue was a little bit comic book villain.
Yeah, that's what I knocked 1 point for that, and I knocked 1 point for several grammar mistakes.
I did feel like it maybe repeated information a little bit as well. It's like, and they have radiation sickness. Like, I know they have radiation sickness. You told me.
Well, they also did the thing, and I know it makes sense in an interview, but like, kind of like I've talked about this before with SCP, where like they do the trope where it's like, Doctor, 1 question, SCP, like 8 paragraphs over and over. And it's like, all right.
It's like, I was born in a small farm.
It all started
when I was born.
When my parents didn't show up to my own birth. Have you ever seen that from Doofenshmirtz?
No.
So in Phineas and Ferb, there's a villain named Doofenshmirtz who has like tragic backstory flashbacks, and they get progressively more ridiculous. And that's one of them: is his own parents didn't show up to his birth. He's just alone in the hospital.
All right, but we've got some comments to read.
We do, and then we can finally be free from this hell we've created for ourselves.
You'll dig us out, right, guys?
Yeah, I'm sending Oniric.
We're sending our love down the well.
Wow, what a callback. Hold on, let me
That's me freeing them from the fucking thing.
Let me shift to my YouTube. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So, 3 yellow arrows, aka Crocat, says, these monster ideas are so fucking cool. What monster ideas?
I don't know. This guy's crazy.
I don't know either. MT says, fun fact. In 1989, Pepsi briefly had the 6th largest military power in the world. They may not have had the coal mine, but they did have fucking subs. Also, did you watch the latest death battle between Makima and Gojo? Don't watch it if you haven't read Chainsaw Man, or do, I don't care. I did hear about that. That's what I was going to ask you if you wanted to watch that with me, because I heard about that.
I saw it already, sorry.
Oh, my heart is shattered into 1,000 pieces.
My heart is burning.
Is it good?
It was okay.
Oh. I'm so sad now.
Sorry.
All right. Gayhold Mill says, how dare you enjoy something without me around? Shaking my head. Gayhold Mill says, got caught up until episode 103 of 173. Thanks, episode 99, for reminding me of a missing character called Assassino. Episode 100 was one hell of a chaotic collab. Yes. The Dr. Q's collab on episode 101 was amazing, especially the mini interview at the end. As for episode, this is like 102. Finally, you'll be blessed by the algorithm gods by saying like, comment, and subscribe. Edit, Catholic Joker sends his regards. What is going on?
We're getting a review.
It's like opening a time capsule early, right? Like, I'm not supposed to see this for 15 years. Shaithalia says, I guess saying Chicago, USA is like the same as saying London, Great Britain. Not sure how to feel about a white person saying we invented cleanliness, eyebrow raise /J. Why wasn't the third thing you read credited in the description? Oh, we read a third article. It must have been deleted, right? From the new page?
Yeah, that's right. That's what happened.
Okay. Sobek says, Wanderer's Library. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a very long time. Cool episode. This Tonhuni guy seems like a pretty good author. Think he could maybe be a pretty good SCP author someday? Yeah, me too, Sobek. I think if he keeps trying, he might be relevant. Sobek was telling me, or someone was telling me they wanted us to do more Wanderer's Library, and I was like, you're gonna love next episode. And then we only did one Wanderer's Library. That we picked at random. Dino Tales 4943 says, well, that was another exciting episode of the Discovering E podcast. Happy extremely late birthday, Tanhoney. Sorry I had to erase your birthday from the collective conscious of every human on the planet. Password, I don't know, Darnell. Leaking Tanhoney's address in an SCP article is kind of cringe, bro. Wait, did I? What did I say?
You said my address and my IP.
No, I didn't.
You did. I cried.
I'm sorry if I did. Oh, it's probably because I said London, England. Skull Guy 1922 says, so it might just be me, but I miss the older style of stories and articles in SCP. I'm not talking about Series 1 type stuff, but the age after that. Stories then weren't too complex. They had subtle details about the plot and hints to GOIs that made them more memorable. I have a theory about the Skull Guy, okay? Because I kind of agree with you, but I don't think it's like, oh, modern wiki sucks. I think it's just like a lot of the appeal of SCP early on was like kind of the mystery of it. And even though there's no canon, like, a lot of the GOIs and things have been explored so much that mystery's kind of gone. But I don't think that's like, oh, modern SCP suck, or, like, they're old stories. Like, I think you're on the right track with disagreeing with that. But it does feel like that mystery's gone. Like, everything's so explained now. And I think it would be really hard to... I think that's why 5000 probably stuck out to people, right? Because that was, like, a really big, enduring mystery that people were trying to figure out for a while. And I'm sure there's other articles like that, too, right, Tan? You would know more about that than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do agree with you there. Skull Guy continues saying, now I pop onto the wiki and there's so many long articles. Oh, no. With convoluted storylines with a dozen characters and an enemy you never had a chance to see coming. In short, I think we're trying too hard. Again, this might just be me. I'm a hopeless nostalgic. But my focus is having a hard time keeping up with these brain-fucky stories.
You need to stop reading the long ones. I think you don't like them.
Shape of a Gun. Yeah, if it makes you feel better, I don't like the long ones either, but for different reasons.
But if you go to new pages and look around a bit, I'm sure you can find a short one.
You could also be the change you want to see. I think people still make short form. I know there was a while...
No, it's illegal. The council doesn't allow it.
There was a while, I remember when we were first doing the podcast, I think, or maybe it was like a year in, where like short articles were back in style. Because I remember when I made the article I don't like talking about, they brought up to me like, no, short articles are like in again right now. Like people are doing them. There's resurgence. But I guess that died off or something.
I just think it's trends. Trends change. It's not necessarily a die. It's a natural lifespan.
Yeah, exactly. But I always say, if there's fiction in the world that you want there to be, then you should be the one to create it. Or at least try, you know? Because that idea may never be birthed if you're not the one who does it. Which I think we read an article similarly that had that premise. But it's true. Like, when you... A lot of times, it's people... The thing people don't realize is they always have these good ideas. They're like, oh, if only someone would do this. But the thing is, everyone has in their life, I think, even non-creatives, like, have at least one or two good ideas. If not many, many more. But it's all about, you know, like actually following through and bringing that idea into the world. Like, it's easy to have the idea, but it's hard to make it a reality. You know what I mean?
I mean?
That's where the gift comes in. Like, I could probably, like, you know, sit down and think about it and come up with like 3 cool SCP concepts. But if I don't fucking actually make the articles and deliver on them, then that doesn't really mean jack shit. If that makes sense. Any closing remarks from you, Tanhoney?
That's it from me. I enjoyed the episode, the article, and I think there's a beautiful world out there, and I think you should go experience it now that you've finished the episodes.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a longer one. Yeah. I know you guys have been waiting. We also interrupted ourselves a lot.
Which is what you're here for,
but
right?
I had fun with it.
Which is what you're here for, right? That's what grabs you by the throat, throws you by the throat, throws you...
Throws you by the throat? Throws you by the throat?
Yeah, what do you mean? I grab you by the throat and then throw you by the throat. What's the issue?
Indeed. All right, well, thank you as always for watching, and Tanhoney, thanks again for another episode. We're getting close to 200.
Yeah.
Should we do something special for that?
I think we should kill someone.
Live on episode. Yeah. We'll live stream it. We'll bring Cactus on and slit his throat, and that'll be the end. Don't tell Cactus we said that, guys. All right, well, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.